The film industry is buzzing with some major drama right now, and it's all centered around one name that keeps popping up in all the wrong conversations: Rachel Zegler. Zegler's latest project is reportedly hanging by a thread, with something almost unheard of in Hollywood being seriously considered: recasting the lead actress mid-production. What's wild is that this isn't some creative disagreement or health emergency. According to multiple insiders close to the production, working with Zegler has allegedly become so challenging that producers are running out of options. When asked about these rumors, the studio has been keeping their statements vague, throwing around terms like adjusting timelines and creative restructuring. But behind closed doors, it's apparently total chaos. This was supposed to be Zegler's comeback moment after her social media missteps during the Snow White press tour turned her into a viral meme factory. This new indie drama paired her with respected veteran actress Marissa Tomei and gave her a character-driven script that could showcase her acting chops rather than relying on CGI spectacle. The perfect redemption arc, right? Except it's turning into déjà vu all over again. Let's be clear about something. Studios don't even whisper the word recast unless things have gone catastrophically wrong. It's basically the nuclear option in film. It demolishes budgets, destroys production schedules, and jeopardizes the entire investment. The fact that it's being discussed tells us everything we need to know about how bad things have allegedly gotten. From what sources are saying, the problems didn't start with some dramatic blowout. They began with subtle eye rolls and dismissive behavior. From day one, crew members noticed Zegler reportedly treating the production like she was doing everyone a favor by showing up. One lighting technician claimed she'd stroll in late, iced coffee in hand, acting like the whole thing was beneath her. Another crew member reportedly said it felt like they were just props in the Rachel show. This energy quickly infected everything: rehearsals, scene work, even relationships between cast members. Sources say Zegler clashed with director Julia Von Hines early on, not through direct confrontation initially, but through sighing at creative notes, pushing back on blocking directions, and openly questioning storytelling choices. Then came the script issues. Multiple people associated with the production claimed Zegler demanded dialogue changes, sometimes in the middle of shooting, because she felt scenes weren't empowering enough. Never mind that the script was already locked, or that she wasn't even the lead character. She allegedly wanted the emotional focus, the narrative arcs, and the standout lines. This reportedly wasn't collaborative. It was more like a hostile takeover that ground production momentum to a halt. The situation apparently hit critical mass when a key co-star, described by one insider as the emotional anchor of the film, quietly walked off set. Not in some dramatic shouting match fashion, but in what one crew member called a quiet, controlled, final straw kind of way. This respected industry veteran allegedly refused to continue working with Zegler until the situation was addressed. Studio speak for "get her under control or I'm out." The fallout was immediate. The moment that co-star exited, the entire set reportedly fell apart. Morale plummeted. Crew members began rotating shifts specifically to avoid time near Zegler's trailer. Departments that had been running like clockwork, makeup, wardrobe, sound, started lagging behind schedule. One assistant bluntly described the environment as toxic, the only word that fit. Even basic scheduling became a nightmare because nobody wanted to be the next target of what they called Rachel's unfiltered moods. What made it worse? Zegler allegedly didn't seem concerned about any of this. According to several sources, she dismissed the tension entirely, claiming she was the one being undermined and misunderstood. She even reportedly accused crew members of deliberately sabotaging her energy. And when the studio tried to control the narrative with their scheduling conflicts explanation, it landed like a bad joke, because everyone could see what was really happening. The biggest irony in all this? This wasn't even Zegler's movie to begin with. She wasn't the center of the story. She was playing the daughter in a mother-daughter drama meant to showcase Marissa Tomei. Performance. Yet somehow, Zegler allegedly made the entire production revolve around her again, just like she did with Snow White. When Hollywood decides someone is no longer worth protecting, there's a particular kind of silence that falls. And that's exactly what's happening now. No tweets supporting Zegler. No Instagram posts defending her behavior. Not a single co-star stepping up with the usual, "she's a joy to work with" platitudes. Not even Marissa Tomei has come forward with any kind of statement. In the entertainment industry, that vacuum speaks volumes. It means people have already seen the behind-the-scenes reality, and they don't want their own reputations anywhere near the mess. Even more telling is how industry veterans who previously praised Zegler are now quietly distancing themselves. A producer, who once couldn't stop talking about her star quality, has reportedly scrubbed all mentions of Zegler from their social media. One prominent casting director allegedly told their team that Zegler is not worth the insurance risk, referencing her growing reputation for being disruptive on set. This isn't just gossip, it's career damage assessment. When people who build careers in Hollywood start labeling you as a liability, it means the machine is already moving on without you. The frustrating part? This was all avoidable. She Gets It From Me was positioned as Zegler's chance to showcase her genuine talent, away from the Disney machine. Instead, insiders claim she's been trying to rewrite scenes during filming, demanding more screen time, and reportedly treating any crew corrections as personal attacks. One source even alleged she stated, "I'm not here to play second fiddle," when asked to reshoot a scene that gave more focus to Tomei's character. But here's the thing, this was never her project to commandeer in the first place. Now, the studio finds itself in a credibility crisis. The deafening silence from everyone involved suggests people are protecting their own careers from the blast radius. But just when things couldn't seem more chaotic, legal concerns entered the picture. Production insiders claim the studio's legal department has been meticulously documenting Zegler's public statements, particularly a notorious live stream where she mockingly said, "Everyone's just ignoring my phone calls. Whatever. It's chill. I don't even care." That casual statement might have inadvertently confirmed everything the studio had been working overtime to hide. According to sources familiar with the project, Zegler signed standard confidentiality and non-disparagement agreements, the kind that explicitly prohibit trash-talking your own movie while it's still in production. But that's exactly what she did.
Publicly.
And seemingly without concern for consequences. The legal team is reportedly cataloging everything. Her live streams, TikToks making light of on-set tension, even fan edits where she jokes about being double the trouble, one insider bluntly stated. She basically made our internal HR nightmare go viral, and now there's a digital paper trail that could cost the studio millions. The consequences are already materializing in concerning ways. Crew members have reportedly begun sharing their experiences off the record with journalists. One assistant director allegedly claimed they felt genuinely unsafe during a scene where Zegler yelled at the director over a block shot. Another crew member reported that the environment had become so toxic, team members began rotating schedules specifically to avoid being near her trailer. At this point, the studio isn't just worried about completing the film, they're concerned about surviving it legally. Rumors suggest lawyers are drafting separation clauses that would allow them to cut Zegler without a complete reshoot, possibly using stand-ins, rewrites, or off-screen narrative adjustments to minimize her presence. If that sounds extreme, it's because the situation has allegedly reached that level of crisis. And as the legal concerns intensified, something else began happening in real time. Zegler's once loyal inner circle started unraveling. Not with dramatic exits or cryptic social media posts, but with The answer? Not enough. The return on Rachel Zegler, once seen as a breakout star, a generational talent, has dwindled into a string of public missteps, internal controversies, and now, potential career implosion. What began as a dream trajectory, handpicked by Spielberg, hailed by critics, embraced by fans, has veered sharply into cautionary tale territory. Directors who once praised her boldness haven't mentioned her in months. Co-stars who regularly tag her on Instagram, not even liking her posts anymore. And even former red carpet allies now dodge questions about her with surgical precision. In Hollywood, that kind of calculated silence is deafening. According to insiders, what's left of Zegler's PR team is in full-blown crisis mode. One representative allegedly quit after Zegler ignored repeated warnings to stay off social media. A full-blown crisis communications plan had been prepared weeks ago, a sincere apology video, a vulnerable, image-rehabilitating profile piece, and a strategic pivot toward mental health advocacy. But Zegler reportedly rejected every part of it. Her words? "I'm not going to play the game." The fallout from that decision is now cascading across every facet of her career. A major fashion brand that had quietly signed her for a spring campaign has pulled all her images. No press release, no statement, just gone. Actors attached to her upcoming films have allegedly begun requesting creative reassessment clauses, Hollywood code for, "I'll do the movie, but don't put me in the same room with her." One studio executive, speaking anonymously, put it bluntly, "She's not a star anymore. She's a risk profile." What makes all this even more tragic is the contrast with Zegler's origin story. She had the perfect Hollywood launch, discovered in an open casting call, chosen by Spielberg himself, and propelled to stardom by her voice and screen presence. But somewhere along the way, that fairy tale unraveled. Now, the industry that built her up seems to be doing what it always does when someone becomes too toxic to protect, quietly stepping away and never looking back. Any hope that Zegler might recognize the crisis and course-correct appears to have vanished. Instead of laying low, she doubled down. In a stunning display of poor judgment, she posted a TikTok mocking the controversy that's threatening her career. "There's two of me. Double the trouble, am I right?" She joked, referencing her dual role in She Gets It From Me. The reaction was immediate and overwhelmingly negative. After reports of walkouts, on-set screaming matches, and crew members asking to be reassigned, Zegler's flippant tone struck many as tone-deaf at best, deliberately antagonistic at worst. Even her once loyal fanbase is starting to crack. Reddit threads that used to defend her now read like emotional autopsies of a career in free fall. One viral comment captured it all. "She doesn't need critics. She's her own PR disaster." The frustration is palpable. She Gets It From Me was supposed to be the perfect redemption arc, a mature, character-driven role alongside an acclaimed co-star and an award-winning director. All she had to do was show up, be professional, and let the work speak for itself. Instead, she reportedly turned the set into a battlefield, rewriting scenes, arguing with crew, and eroding morale to the point of collapse. What's worse, Zegler still doesn't seem to understand why the backlash continues. She's treating the situation as if it's another opportunity to challenge the system. But from the outside, it looks more like she's just challenging everyone's patience. As recasting rumors gain momentum, she hasn't paused for reflection. She posted yet another cryptic video, seemingly mocking the situation again, with a vague caption about people overreacting to strong women. But that narrative, framing criticism as discomfort with empowerment, isn't landing anymore. Audiences are fatigued. Industry professionals are frustrated. Even her supporters are starting to admit, this isn't empowerment, it's entitlement. And no amount of inspirational captions or feminist framing can disguise the fact that she's allegedly sabotaging yet another production. Behind closed doors, studio executives are trapped in a brutal dilemma. One camp reportedly wants to recast immediately, to save the film and send a message. The other fears the optics of removing a Latina lead mid-production. But increasingly, the question isn't about identity, it's about behavior. As one veteran producer reportedly said, "We've worked with strong women. We've worked with outspoken women. This isn't that. This is ego run wild." Trade publications have begun using coded language, creative realignment, lead role evaluations, Hollywood's way of saying, she's on her way out. Social media is already a step ahead. Fan casting threads, AI-generated posters, and speculation over who might take over the role have gone viral. The conversation has shifted. It's no longer, should she be replaced? It's who's replacing her? We may be witnessing the unraveling of Rachel Zegler's Hollywood reign. She Gets It From Me was designed to be a redemption story. Instead, it might be the final chapter. Because when every film you touch becomes chaotic, when every press tour ends in controversy, when collaborators walk away shaking their heads, Hollywood stops making excuses. And if the numbers stop making sense, they stop making calls too. Zegler isn't just a PR problem anymore. She's a financial liability. Studios can't ensure chaos. Investors don't bankroll ego. And audiences don't forget the faces behind the drama. If recasting is truly underway, then this may be the moment the industry quietly, definitively lets her go. Because in Hollywood, they'll give you a spotlight, but they'll just as quickly flip the switch.